Hello everybody, it's your boy Super Noob Stickman, the John Cena of PSU, and come back to you live with part 2 of Super Noob Stickman's Guide to Becoming a Good Guardian. And today we're going to cover controls, because controls are a very important part of PSU, and the limiting controls will limit your abilities to become a good guardian. And oh, poor guy. Anyways, I'd like to introduce my co-host, Igninium Senia. Hey everybody, Super Noob's the best, yeah! Woo! And some guy behind me, Zephyrtus. I'm gonna be in your videos. Well, anyways, alright. So today, we're going to jump outside PSU to change your controls and set you up to become a better guardian than even possible without controls of similar stature and nature. So we're going to jump out, and I've organized a blank control zip, which is going to look like this when you download it from this post. It's going to come with a notepad of the layout, a master macro for your control setup, and a configure file for Joy to Key. And you're going to need to download two programs. Let's touch upon it really quick. The first of two programs is Joy to Key, and you can get that very easily by just Googling Joy to Key. And right here, this is the exact one I've downloaded from Download CNET, and it's free. It's freeware. And they want, if you very much enjoy it, you can pay them some money. And the second thing you're going to download is AutoHotkey, and you can get that right from autohotkey.com/download. You click download AutoHotkey installer. It takes like 1 second. A very good macroing program for setting up very simple things. And now that that's out of the way, I can explain these controls to you. But first, the pre-setup. If you're using Windows 10, you're going to want to click your Start and click your Settings. Come into your Settings, and under Gaming, you're going to want to make sure that Open Game Bar using this button on a controller is not checked. Because if this is checked, your guide button on your Xbox controller or Xbox One controller or Xbox 360 controller is going to be completely useless. So you want to make sure that this is blank, and that'll help you a lot. So now we're gonna hit your Windows button, and you want to type app data and put it between parentheses because it's a hidden folder. So to make a hidden folder show, you put percentages, not parentheses, sorry about that, percentages, percent signs between, the app data between two percent signs. And it'll show your hidden folder. It'll open roaming, but you want to click back up into app data. Local, come down to Sega, PSU, and open your INI file. And your INI file is going to look a little different than mine, but you want to scroll down to your gamepad, and you want to switch your A, B, X, Y buttons all to 0, your R3 to 0, L3 to 0, Start to 0, and that'll be good. Just make sure it looks exactly like this, right here, and I'll give you an extra second. Oh, actually, you could just pause. Just pause the video if you need some time on that. And after you do both of those two things, you're ready to start playing. And when you download your Joy to Key, you're gonna unzip it using WinRAR or whatever. If you don't know what that is, you're gonna need a program, an unzipping program. I'll touch upon that really quick, just in case somebody been living under a rock. Type WinRAR, scroll down. You got it right here. WinRAR. It's 29, but I don't think anyone in the history of time has ever paid for WinRAR. Yeah, you can get it right there. That's probably the exact one I've downloaded too. You can see it's clicked. But after all that, you want to unzip Joy to Key, and I can even show you mine. This is zipped. Unzip. Unzip. Open it as admin. And it'll open this, which is your skeleton, which is going to look like this. And beyond 13 controls is not needed or whatever. And here's what it does that is so great. The buttons that you set to 0 will show up as this, and enter will be your A, and E and backspace will be your B, and down and right X and Y, and then for my select I use shift. That could be different for you. You can actually switch that off. I use shift because on Discord, shift is my push to talk. So if I'm in Discord, I can hit shift to activate my voice to talk or push to talk feature and talk to people on my team or whatever. And start is F1. You click in the left stick for control, right stick for Q to zoom in. And here's the thing that makes this setup very good, because you're missing a couple controls normally, which are your triggers. And instead of setting your triggers how they're supposed to be, this setup is setting up a completely different use for them. Whereas your left trigger, this is holding your left trigger, will activate a control and Joy to Key, which makes all your controls stop working, but instead it's going to use joystick 2 configuration. And if you look at joystick 2 configuration, everything has their own thing here. Everything has their own setup, and I'll alter this so it's 100% right by the time that I do this or whatever. But yeah, basically they all have their own setup. So instead of enter when you hit A, if you're holding the left trigger and you hit A, it's going to be able to do a different control, and B and X and Y and start and select and right trigger and left trigger and your thumbsticks, everything, left stick and right stick and guide and all of that good stuff. And the thing that you're gonna how you're gonna make it work is by using auto hotkey, which you already downloaded. And I'm gonna show you the master macro right now. It's set up here. It's blank. You have 27 controls, since your left trigger, your right trigger, and your guide button are all going to trigger a different configuration. And the way that this works is going to be completely up to you, because it's blank, and it may seem really tough at first to get, all your stuff in order, but you can get a lot of help. Because if you go into Discord, which I'm going to do now, there's an auto hotkey. There's an auto hotkey Discord, and if you have any questions like how do I make my game push so and so, you can ask right here, and they'll tell you the whole script pretty much. If you look, see, I got people here that are like, I want to do this, and then people will actually help. And that's the cool thing about that. So you can completely set that up, and your left trigger, your right trigger, and your guide will be your 3 buttons to trigger new things. And I even included in the controller layout here all your controls that are gonna be after that. But one more thing I want to touch upon is, if you didn't do this one part in your PSU options, you're gonna want to go into your keyboard set or your gamepad settings and default to. Not, you want to do this before the INI, because if I click 2, it's going to switch all that back. So, I mean, if you don't like it, you can always just come in here and switch it back, or whatever. So you don't have to worry about it being permanent if you don't enjoy the new controls. But here are your new controls, where these are just your normal controls for the most part. You're not losing out on a lot of things. But here are your 27 new controls that you can program in. And I even included in here things you should consider putting onto your controller and the controls that, would do that. And the best part is it's completely up to you. You can put whatever you want on your controller. If you want to put on your controller, if you hit start and select at the same time, or left trigger and select, or right trigger and select, whatever you want on everything. Like, if you want to rage quit the game, you can do that. If you want to have it, turbo on your enter button, you can set that right through Joe to key. Like, whatever you want to set up, it's all up to you. This is just like a base skeleton for Xbox 360 style controls with the added inputs that you can make yourself. And through macros, you can do anything. Literally anything. If you want to set a button for nano blasting or SUVs, you can do that. If you want to set a button, like your left trigger and X could switch armors, X, Y, A, B, and you can switch your armors instantly, or you can switch your weapons instantly, or you can even make it so if you hold the left trigger and hit A, it opens the menu, goes over, and uses a trimate or something. Like, the possibilities are endless, and it's completely up to you, and it's really going to help your gameplay in the long run to have extra controls, because extra controls are extra things that you can do in your game. And I'm going to come back into PSU for the outro here, and it's your boy, Super Noob Stickman, and yo girl, and Kingdom sending you, yo, and we are out. Bye, everybody! Woo!